The exploratory factor analysis basically is an interdependence technique. Interdependence technique means we are not going to testing the hypothesis, and we are not going to find the relationship between the two variable, dependent and independent variable. So factor analysis is an interdependence technique whose primary purpose is to define the underlying structure among the variables in the analysis. What does it mean? The underlying structure means latent phenomena. Through the in a social science research, basically through one question we cannot identify the particular phenomena. For example, if we want to know the satisfaction level of students or our respondents, so for measuring the satisfaction level we need at least 4 or 5 questions to measure the satisfaction. Because one question, because in a human behavior, well, it's a very dynamic nature, or it's a, we cannot measure one phenomena for to just asking the one question, unless we ask many questions. For example, if the patient is satisfied with the doctor, so we can ask some question: are you satisfied with this doctor? The patient may say yes. Will you recommend this doctor to others? It's another question. If he is satisfied, then he will recommend to others. Will you revisit again to the doctor? If he is going again the doctor, then we can. So all the questions related to satisfaction. So in a, for measuring any construct we need 4 or 5 questions, like, because the underlying structure means the latent phenomena, latent or unobserved phenomena cannot be determined to just 1 or 2 questions. Like the example is the swine flu. So what are the symptoms of the swine flu? Cough. So no doctor can identify whether I have swine flu or not unless I tell the symptoms. So like cough, fever, sore throat, stuffy or runny nose, body, headache, chill, fatigue. It means if I'm just simply say I have cough, so doctor can only the one question or one symptom cannot confirm that I have swine flu unless I tell some more symptoms. Okay. So same as in a exploratory factor analysis, we identify the underlying structure of the particular phenomena. Now, how to conduct the exploratory factor analysis? So there are 7 stages to conduct the exploratory factor analysis. One is the objectives of the factor analysis. Then second stage, designing a factor analysis. Then assumptions in factor analysis, driving factors and assessing overall fit, interpreting the factors, validation of factor analysis, and additional usage of factor analysis. It means after conducting the exploratory factor analysis, we identify which particular factor dependent variable and which one is independent variable. Then we can use these factor in a dependence technique. We can apply independent t-test for these factors. We can use analysis of variance. We can use these factor in multiple regression analysis also. So the purpose of factor analysis, it reduce the large number of questions and then summarize. After conducting the exploratory factor analysis, further we can use these variables in a dependence technique, and we can apply many dependence techniques. Now, objectives of factor analysis, that is data summarization. What does it mean, the data summarization? So we can understand, it's a very simple example of summarization. So these are the words like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay. So here you can see the word, the um, now the word like A for apple, B for ball, C for cat, D for dog, E for elephant, F for football, G for grapes, hen, ink, pot, joker, king, lion, man, net, orange. These are the words. Okay. So can we take the similar nature of the word from the here, like the apple? Okay, so apple and another which is related, apple related to fruit, and ball, cat, dog. Can we club another variable? Yes, grapes. Grapes also we can club. Then another variable, orange. So orange, and the watermelon, watermelon. Okay, so same nature like apple, grapes, and orange, and watermelon. So we club same type of question here, and we give the name. Summarize, summarization means name. So what should be the name of these four words? The suitable name is grapes, sorry, suitable name is fruits, because all are related to fruits. So apple, grapes, orange, watermelon. Same as we club the same nature of questions like cat, dog, elephant, lion, yak, zebra. So what should we give the name? So all are related to animals. And the other, the ball, football, net, the same nature of questions we club and we give the name. Name means summarizing. So we are the all the variables are summarizing that it is related to sports, like the hen, parrot, quail, rooster, sparrow. So all related to birds. So the in an exploratory factor analysis, one is the summarization. We club same nature of question into one and we give the name. It's a researcher choice to give the name, the what is the sense of the questions. So it's a researcher choice. And the data reduction means, for example, we are preparing the tea. Okay, preparation of tea. So we have large number of ingredients to prepare the tea. Like tea, without tea we cannot prepare the tea. So these are the principal component: tea, ginger, milk, water, elaichi, coffee powder, gas, heat, gas stoves. So data reduction means in a we take the main, for example, there may be a list of a large number like 40 or 50, but what are the principal component? So these are the principal component, these are the principal component. Okay, so these are most important the component of the preparation of tea. So data reduction, basically we reduce the large number of the question into few, and then they summarize the name of the variables. So objective of factor analysis, data summarization and as well as data reduction. Now, is the objective exploratory or confirmatory? So there are two types of technique: exploratory factor analysis and confirmatory factor analysis. So the big difference between the exploratory factor analysis and confirmatory factor analysis is, the in exploratory factor analysis we can take variable from different research paper or on the basis of literature review to conduct the exploratory factor analysis. But in a confirmatory factor analysis, whatever variables we are taking, it is solely depend or based on the theory. Whatever questions we are taking to applying the structural equation modeling or confirmatory factor analysis, all the questions should based on the theory. Without theory we cannot, we should not use the confirmatory factor analysis. It means, for example, the theory of plant behavior. So theory of this theory given by the Asian. So in this theory there are five component or five factor. One is the attitude, second subjective norm, and third pursuit behavioral control, and fourth purchase intention, and finally purchase behavior. So if we want to know the buying behavior of youth, so and we want to confirm this theory, then we should take all the questions from the theory of plant behavior. So there are three ways we adapt the same scale and use in our study. Second is we modify the scale. It means that we delete some questions and add some question. It's a modify scale. And third choice, we develop our new scale. When will we develop our new scale? When existing literature review doesn't support us, and the through literature review we find there is no scale to measuring this particular phenomenon, then we develop our new scale. So we should keep in mind, in a confirmatory factor analysis, whatever questions we are taking to apply in a structural equation modeling, all the questions should be based on the particular theory. Now, there are two types of specify the unit of analysis. One is R variable, R, and Q factor analysis. R means R factor analysis means exploratory factor analysis, and Q factor analysis means cluster analysis. So our purpose here are variables. R factor analysis means we are reducing large number of questions into few, and then data summarization and reduction, and using factor analysis other techniques. So the after conducting the factor analysis technique, we find many dependent and independent variables. Then further, like the then we can use these variables, and we can apply other technique also, dependence technique, like multiple regression analysis, discriminant analysis, ANOVA, MANOVA. So we can use these factor in a different technique we can use. Now, so what should be the sample size to conduct the factor analysis? So there should be 10:1. If you want to conduct the exploratory factor analysis, you are writing a research paper, then what should be the sample size? So it's a 10:1. If you are taking 50 questions, you are taking 50 questions and you want to apply exploratory factor analysis, so 10 times of the number of questions means your sample size should be of 500. Okay, it's a five, it's a ideal, but if sample size 8 to 10 times, it's also desirable. So but ideally we should take 5 times, sorry, 10 times of the number of questions. Now all the question, and the condition is all the questions metric or continuous. So for applying the exploratory factor analysis, we should not take nominal or interval type of question, sorry, nominal or ordinal question we should not take. We should take only metric data. Metric means interval. We should frame our question either interval or ratio scale type question, then we can use exploratory factor analysis. This is not desirable for our study. Okay, now the question should prepare either interval or ratio scale. Then how to prepare our question for the exploratory factor analysis? So the question is, I am taking this case study to explain the exploratory factor analysis. In this case study, so I am taking some questions. All the questions should be like this, like national company uses, it's a publishing house, and this publishing house wants to know the some factors. Okay, so they prepare some the questions like national company uses online services, and it's an interval type of question, poor to excellent, it's a 11 point scale. Then this company provides e-material to the teachers. The second question is this: paper quality of the book is good, complaint resolved timely by company, national company uses advertising campaigns in all types of media. So these are the options of my questions. So we should prepare our questions like this. Then company publishes engineering, medical, and management books. Salesforce image of the national company is good. So these are the questions. So we should prepare our question like this for conducting the exploratory factor analysis. So these are the questions. Now the next is assumptions in the third stage. Assumptions in factor analysis. One is the whatever questions we are taking in factor analysis, it should be conceptually valid. If we want to apply the service quality of the higher educations, if we want to measure the main component or factors of the measuring the service quality in higher education, that all the questions should be conceptually valid. It means whatever construct we are taking, whatever questions we are taking from the literature review, so all the questions should be based on the service quality, because service quality, it's a the scale given by Parshuraman, and five main component like tangibility, reliability, responsiveness, empathy, assurance. These are the five components, and each component has 4 or 5 questions. Total questions 22. So if it's a original scale, then if we are using this scale in higher education, measuring the service quality of higher education, then we can modify it. We can take 30 or 40 questions. Okay. So if we are measuring the service quality in health sector, then again we can modify this particular scale, which is given by the Parshuraman. So whatever questions we are taking, it should be conceptually valid. Okay, so all the questions we should take, which is related to the original the SERVQUAL model, means all the questions should be related to tangibility, reliability, responsiveness, assurance, and empathy. We should not take the other concept. We should not take question related to attitude, subjective norm, or other construct question. So whatever questions we are taking to apply the exploratory factor analysis, conceptually valid. It should be based on the concept. Yes, these questions related to this particular concept. And the second assumption in a factor analysis, that is multi-collinearity. Multi-collinearity desirable in a the factor analysis. Why? Because I told you the purpose of the purpose of the exploratory factor analysis is summarization. Summarization means we club same type of question into one. This is my factor one. Question number 1, 2, 3, 4. I club all the questions. Okay, so the multi-correlati, it means the all the questions should be correlated to each other. All the questions. So here multi-collinearity desirable, but multi-collinearity not desirable in a multiple regression analysis. In a multiple regression analysis, the all the independent variables should be unrelated to the other variables, like the theoretically x1 unrelated to x2 and unrelated to x3. It means there should not be correlation between, zero correlation. There should be zero correlation x1 with x2, zero correlation with x1 with x3, zero correlation x2 and x3. So it's a problem in a multiple regression analysis, a multi-quality. But in an exploratory factor analysis, it is desirable because we are taking the highly correlated questions and clubbing into one segment or one factor. Then the Butler test of sparsity, it should be significant, its value, and then measures of sampling adequacy should be greater than 0.5. So all the in a anti-image correlation matrix, all the principal diagonal value should be greater than 0.5. So I will explain through the example. So it's just a theory to understand the concept of exploratory factor analysis. Now, what are the criteria to find the number of factors? How many factors we should take? So there are four ways. There are 4 ways to take the factor. One is latent root criteria, second periodic criteria, third percentage of variance criteria, and fourth is scree test criteria. So the latent criteria means the latent and scree test criteria. It is depend on the value of the eigenvalue. If eigenvalue, this eigenvalue, if it is greater than 1, then we retain all the factors. So it's a latent root criteria, or eigenvalue criteria. If eigenvalue of all the factors greater than 1, we retain those factors, and the eigenvalue less than 1, we do not take the variables in our study. So here the one is the one is latent root or scree test criteria to take the number of factors. So here total number of questions in this study, 18 questions. 18 questions. So how many factors we retained? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 factors. So we are taking here only 8 factor to explain the exploratory factor analysis. And second is, so it's a researcher choice to how many factors he should take. Now the second criteria, how many factors should I take in our study. The second criteria, that is the periodic criteria. Periodic criteria means previously some researcher taken to explain the concept of behavior, plant behavior. They taken the 5 factor to explain this: attitude, subjective norm, pursuit behavior control, purchase intention, purchase behavior. So if someone explained this plant behavior through 5 factors, so we should take the 5 factor also. Like another method, that is the period criteria, like SERVQUAL. Another example of this, service quality. If you want to measure the service quality in higher education, then you should think how many factors should we retain to explain the factors of service quality. So there are 5 factors. Through 5 factors we can explain the service quality in higher education, like tangibility, reliability, responsiveness, assurance, empathy. But your construct name may be different when you are using this model to explain the service quality in higher education. So you may take the name of your variable may be different. It is not necessary the whatever construct name other researcher took, use take same variable. No, it's a researcher choice to take the variable or give the name of the variables. Okay, so this is, so if we want to explain the service quality in higher education, then we can take 5 factors to define the service quality in higher education. So it's a period criteria, means previously the other researcher, how many factors they took to explain the particular concept. Then third criteria, the percentage of variance. So total, ideally the total percentage should be 60% or higher. So if we are taking 40 questions in our study, and the 5 factors giving 60% or more variance, then it is desirable. So it's a ideally it's a ideal condition. If we the percentage of variance less than 60, it is also good, but we should give some supporting literature, because ideally it should be 60% or greater than the 60% the variance. Okay, now the process of factor interpretation. So estimate the factor matrix. The one is, we prepare the factor matrix, and then factor rotation and factor interpretation. So what is the meaning of factor matrix? It's a factor matrix, you can see the estimate of the factor matrix. So in this case study, there are some variables, they like x4, x11, x12. I told you we have taken 14 variables to explain the service measuring the perception of buyers in a publishing company. So we have taken 14 question, and out of the 14, only 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So we obtained 9 variables here. So it's a factor matrix. Factor matrix, these are the component 1, component 2, component 3. So we can give the name, the component 1, component 2, and component. So component, we can say factor, component, dimension, construct, all are same thing. Okay, so the in a factor matrix, it's a variable, the variable, and it is related to factor 1. So what is this? It's a, the technical term of is factor loading. Factor loading. Factor loading. Factor loading, nothing but a correlation of this variable with factor 1. It's a simply correlation, and all the factor loading value will vary -1 to +1. -1 means it's a negative relationship between the two variable. It's a relationship like this. And positive means if positive value, so the correlation, it's a positive correlation. It's a negative correlation. If, like here, the term you can see the minus 0.72, it's a negative correlation, means product quality and the component, this component, it's a negative relationship between. So the all the factor loading values, whether it is the positive like 0.91, 0.913, all the value theoretically should be greater than 0.714 theoretically. Okay, but sometime if my factor loading value like 0.56 or 0.53, so we also retain these variables, because the factor loading value, it depend on the sample size also. If sample size is high, means 400 or 500, then we can take factor loading value for 4 to 5 also, 4 to 5. So here Anderson given the table, the if factor loading value less and sample size is high, then we can retain these variables also in our study. So in a the factor loading, these are the factor loading, and the sum of a square. When we square of this variable, square of this variable, square means it's a simply correlation, and when we square it, it becomes variance. So when we take the square of this factor loading, square of this factor loading, square of this factor loading, and add all the factor loading, then we will get this value 2.589, and this is our eigenvalue. This is eigenvalue. Okay, so how will we get the eigenvalue? Square of this, square of this, square of this, and add all these variances, and then we obtain the this values. Okay, this, it's a eigenvalue. Same as for another component, we obtain the eigenvalue 2 point this. For third component, eigenvalue is this. For another fourth component, the eigenvalue may be 1.406. So it's a eigenvalue, and community means this is, it's a community when we square of this plus square of this variable, although it is less than 0.6, so I did not include here. So square of this, when horizontally I square all the variances and add, then we obtain the community. Okay, so it's a, and when I vertically I add all the variances and add, then we obtain the this. And percentage of trace means when we divide 2.589 by number of variables, so we obtain the this percentage of trace. So this is about the factor matrix. Then second is rotation factor, factor rotation. What does it mean, the factor rotation? So there are two approaches of factor rotation. One is orthogonal means axis are maintained at 90 degree, and oblique means axis are not maintained at 90 degree. So what does it mean, 90 degree or this? So the theoretically we should take one variable under the one factor. This is my factor matrix. The factor matrix means if I am showing you the factor matrix, this is factor matrix. Okay, in the factor matrix, this variable should be highly related to only this component. Okay, highly related to this component and unrelated or less related to other components. Okay, so if one variable highly related to this and highly related to this, like 0.89, it is highly related to component 2. So it's a situation, this situation known as the cross loading, because we in this situation, when the one variable is showing high value under this variable and as well as another factor, so it's a problem of cross loading, because we do not understand whether we take this variable under this factor or this. So theoretically it should be high value under this value and unrelated or less value under the other two factors. Okay, now so there are two methods to remove the cross loading problem. One is orthogonal and another is oblique. What does it mean, the factor rotation? So we should understand this graph. So in a unrotated, there are two axes. This is the y axis, vertical, and horizontal we can see this is unrotated. Okay, so there are two axes and it's a 90 degree perpendicular to y axis, perpendicular to x. It's a unrotated, and these are my questions: variable 1, variable 2, variable 3, variable 4, variable 5. These are my 5 questions. Now the question, this is question variable when the value of this perpendicular to this, it's a 50.5, and it's a, I told you the all the factor loading will be -1 to +1. So if I project here in a y-axis, its value almost 0.8. Okay, and in a vertically on a x-axis, so this value almost 0.6. So it is giving high value in both the component, in component 2 and in component unrotated component 6. And this variable also giving v2 is also giving high value like this. If I project here, it's almost 0.7 and it's also 0.7. So this variable also giving one variable giving high value, like there are two factor f1 and f2, v1, v2, v3, v4. So this variable giving high value under this factor and under this, same as variable 2 giving high value under f1 and high value under f2. It is not desirable for our study. So what should we do? Because we want only one variable give this one, f1 and f2, and these are the variables v1, v2, v3, v4, v5. So we want this variable give high value either f1 or f2, v2 give high value either f1 or f2. So it's a cross loading problem. So we use the orthogonal factor rotation, means we rotate this axis y and x axis 90 degree. We rotated this this, it's a rotated matrix. Now you can see it's a rotated matrix. So in this rotated matrix, when I project here, so its value almost 0.9. Okay, and in a this rotated factor, it's a rotated factor 1, it's a rotated factor 2, and the what is the value? It's a very less, almost 0.1. So less value here 0.10 something and high value here, so it is desirable. So we will take this variable under this factor, not f1. Same as V2. V2 is giving high value in a factor 0.85, and it's a less value, almost 0.2 something. So the purpose of orthogonal factor rotation to reduce the problem, or overcoming the problem of cross loading. Cross loading, it's a problem in a factor loading. Then how to remove the cross loading problem? Cross loading means the one variable v1 giving high value both the factors v1, both the factor 1 and 2. So we by using this orthogonal factor matrix, we can reduce the, or overcoming the problem of the factor loading, cross loading problem. Okay, this is another way to reduce the value of factor cross loading value. Now factor interpretation. Factor interpretation, which factor loading are significant? Customary criteria, practical significance, sample size and statistical significance, and number of factor, how many factor we should take. Which factor loading are significant? The factor, theoretically, the factor loading value should be greater than 0.714 ideally, but it is depend on the type of the this table. If factor loading, now you can see here, if my sample size is 150, and so it is also desirable if factor loading value is 0.45. So sample the factor loading, what should be, theoretically the factor loading value should be greater than 0.6 or 0.714, but if it is less we can retain, but the condition is sample size should be 150. If sample size 150, then we can take factor loading 0.45. If sample size 350, then we can retain 0.30 factor loading value also. So through this table we can justify, if my factor loading value is less, then I can give this reference to this table also. Now process of factor interpretation, then re-specification of the model if needed, deletion of variables from analysis. If we think these variables are not desirable for study, and then we delete these variables. Desire to use different rational approach, need to extract different number of factors, then desire to change the method of extraction. It means the re-specification of factor model if needed. If we think that we require to re-specify the model, then we delete some variable and add some variable to our study. Then interpreting the factors, examine the factor matrix of the loading, identify the highest loading across all the factors, we take all the highest value, and then assess communities of the variable and label the factors. And finally we give the name of the variables or factors. Now in this study we use 14 variables to conduct the exploratory factor analysis, and out of the 14 variable we identify only the 9 variables. So the one variable, complaint resolution, delivery speed and order and billing. So these three variables related to the customer service. So it's a researcher choice to give the name on the basis of the questions. So I think the customer service better name to these three variables. And the second construct I identified through the factor analysis, that is marketing, because all the three questions are talking about the marketing, so like Salesforce, image, online service, advertising. So it is related, these variables are related to marketing, so that is why I have given the name marketing. So it's a researcher choice. And the third component I identify component, competitive pricing, product quality and price negotiation. So it's related to the product value. So this is about the concept of the exploratory factor analysis.